What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. Well, Bitcoin's back over $15,000 for the first time in a long while, and that means we get to talk about the range up here from $15,000 to the all-time highs because we just really haven't seen a lot of price action up here. We've only had about 6 weekly closes above $15,000. So it's important to understand what happened with price up at these levels and how that can help you guys going forward from here. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I'm going to show you guys this new tool, this guy right here. This is our multi-time frame swing signal indicator. And what it is it's going to help you identify short-term overbought conditions, as well as when to be looking for longs and shorts. And you can use that in conjunction with our other tools. It's just one more added tool in the arsenal. But it's giving us an interesting signal here with this reading on these highs, and I want you guys to be aware of that. So we're going to talk about that and how you can get this in this video. All right, guys, let's dive into it.
Trade Genius.
Guys, really quickly, just a reminder, we have our specials for this month running. You can get into the room with us and get the signals that we give out for $3.99. That's for a year. Very economical, so check that out. Diving into the charts, I wanted to point out this new tool that I haven't released yet. If you sign up this month, you will get this indicator. But what it is it tells us where to look for, not only where to be short and long, and it's a little noisy on this time frame because I actually use this on a lower time frame. I haven't zoomed down on the 4-hour because I wanted to show you guys where this thing is giving us a reading right now in relation to where the markets are. I also want to point out too that we do seem to be correlated with the stock market. We did break away here nicely, but then starting here right at the election, I think what we saw was a lot of the election hedging unwinding. Too many people on the wrong side of the boat, and you get a pretty long stretched unwind of those positions, and then it overshoots. So I think the move with the stock market is helping the move in Bitcoin, but I think it's getting a little tired. So you do want to be careful up here, both in the stock market and with Bitcoin. But I just wanted to point that part of it out too. The other thing is a high reading on this multi-time frame swing indicator that we have. We're over 200. Whenever we get over 200 or right at 200, I take notice. And let's hide this blue line just for now so we can talk about this a little bit. So if you'll notice back here, let's take a look at this high reading over 200. It doesn't mean that the overall move that we're in is over. It just means we're probably going to get some kind of pullback or exhaustion. Tops out about 11,431, pulls back to 10,588. Doesn't quite get to that pullback, but if we look at it in terms of percentages on, and this is a pullback in an uptrend. You know, it's a 7% pullback. All right, let's look at another one. 200 reading here, and we're up at 13,233, comes back in 12,681. You can look at a percentage here, pulls back 4%, again, pullback in an uptrend, which is what we're expecting to see here. So now, if you look at where we are now, here we are well over 200, and we're topping out here at currently about 15,520. So for the short term, guys, if you're looking for that swift move down, you're looking for a short, this is an interesting spot to take note. Especially one thing to note too is if we get a swing failure, notice there's about an hour and 32 minutes left in this candle on the 4-hour. But if it closes below 15,300, then you're going to get a swing failure pattern. Okay, and that's a lot of times what guys are looking for, weakness in the price up, the move up. That's what they're looking for. So if we took it from where we are now, let's say we get something like a 7% move, that does take us down to that slower moving average, a pullback down to 14,384. That would be a decent dip buy. Now, this is short-term stuff, right? Because ultimately this move will probably exhaust and we'll see a larger pullback in the realm of 20 to 30% or more. So that's where we're at in this move currently going up. And this thing's giving us a big red warning that, you know, we could be very close to a short-term 7%, 4 to 7% type pullback here. So I wanted to share that with you guys, that, you know, that's what this indicator is decent at telling us. I like to use this in conjunction with our other signals. And so when, you know, this fires green, you know, you're looking to buy anytime there's a dip opportunity on the smaller time frames, go ahead and do that. This signal doesn't change. I can change it to any different time frames. These are all going to fire on the same time frame. It just depends. What am I looking at? An hour, 4 hour, or 15-minute? But all these signals will be at the same point in time. So here it fires down, but you'll notice there wasn't any corresponding color change to that effect. Then all it did is bounce off the 0 line. I do like to see some follow through on that, bouncing signals back the other way. And then you're looking to zero in, like say on the fulcrum, turns red, goes back to green, and you buy that long. So I think you guys will find this very useful, and also just telling you that, hey, you should be looking for longs. So it's an awesome tool. Tells you where the extremes are in a move, tells you what direction you should be looking in. I think you guys will find it very useful. So if you sign up this month, you can catch that. So that's where we're at. We're over the 15,000 mark. We have to keep in mind of these levels that we're looking at. If we look back at the daily, okay, here's our profile. This is from the move from 15,000 to all-time high. This is back in 2017. Keep in mind, 2017 environment is completely different than where we are now. We were at the end of the halving cycle in 2017. A lot of newcomers coming into the crypto space blow off top of the halving cycle. Where we are now is back late 2016 window, and you can see that on the cycle repeat chart here. And it's interesting, we're following the cycle repeat pretty good. If we follow this, we're gonna see this 18,000 area. I'm gonna talk about that and then followed by a dump, which I think is extremely reasonable and very Bitcoin to do. But what you want to keep in mind is these levels up here. I think first of all, we'll probably get a reaction around the 16,800 level, because it was a point of control in this range up here as we came up. The value area is from 14,722 on up to 17,900. So now that we've accepted into this range, I look for the test of the other side of this value area. So actually 18,000 would be a good test of that. Now, it is Bitcoin. Things can overthrow, and you'll notice there's very little volume above 18,000. So if you did see a wick up here and then pull back in under 18,000, okay, I think that would be the tail end of this move, and I think that would actually be a good short opportunity, or if you're short-term long, you're covering into that. This high will be tested because I consider this a weak high. The initial wick up here was sold at around number area 20,000. They bought it back up, tail end of the move. Everybody's buying this in anticipation of a higher high. They get trapped up here, stopped out, everybody stops out, and then there's just the cycle's over, and people just aren't into buying Bitcoin up at these levels, and it creates lower lows and so on and so forth. But this is a different mode because of the fact that now we're into a halving cycle, and as I showed you, a new halving cycle, and as I showed you in the cycle repeat chart, we're just getting started in this post-halving move. So a lot more Bitcoin are in hands of long-term holders. There's less Bitcoin being generated per day, and there's more money, institutional size money coming in. So it's like passing the baton from, this was the tail end of just retail buying at these levels, to now a new generation of institutional money coming in, kind of picking up and surpassing the old highs, as we've seen a couple of times now in these halving cycles. So that's what I'm looking at now that we're north of 15,000. Those are the things to look for up here. And I think that these levels will be pretty reactive. And so just watch those interactions in there. But I think we're pretty close to some exhaustion here. We could exhaust in the 15s. Maybe we come up and test this point of control on a quick move to 16,825 possibly. But then I would look for that 4 to 7% pullback. Party's not done. I think ultimately we test towards 18,000. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade Genius.